Becky Lynch vows to be at WWE TLC in just a week and a half to defend her SmackDown Live Women's Championship after rumors came out that she might not be medically cleared. Also, Vince McMahon is very surprised by the reaction Asuka got on SmackDown Live. Also, there have been rumors about fan outrage as it concerns Dean Ambrose and his new heel direction for the fact that WWE has been using Roman Reigns' leukemia announcement integrated into the storyline. WWE has now changed all plans for Dean Ambrose as seen on Monday Night Raw. And what is their current direction for the lunatic fringe? All this, plus so much more right here on Off the Script. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth.
And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese.
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE's great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Okada. Delete! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
And this is the #1 fucking podcast.
Right here on YouTube.com!
This is Off the Script. You know, man, sometimes when I talk about certain storylines or how storylines should be mapped out or planned out, I kind of get ahead of myself. Because I get into these grooves where I talk about a certain something and I believe in something being right so much that I kind of take myself out of the reality of the situation. We talked about Becky Lynch yesterday on part 1, and I have a follow-up to what we talked about yesterday. Reports were going around that Becky Lynch was not medically cleared as of right now. Has nothing to do with concussions, but she's not medically cleared right now for TLC. Has more to do with her nose, but she vowed to be at TLC to defend her title. And I even said yesterday, I don't think Becky Lynch is sitting this one out. She's going to be at TLC, no matter what. Now, if it was a concussion situation, then we should be afraid. But the fact that she is medically cleared right now on the concussion side of things, that is a huge positive. But the triple threat match at TLC, in what I think will be the main event of the show, is done for one particular reason, and that is to protect Becky Lynch. The WWE has, they have had an opportunity to do it already, but I guess they want to make it in a more competitive way. They just don't want to take the title from her. Even though both situations probably would have made her that much more popular. But the reason why the triple threat match is happening is because they want to protect Becky Lynch as best they can. And it's in WWE's best interest to do that. I think we all agree that Becky, from here on out, cannot be pinned, submitted, or anything like that. She cannot be defeated in any which way. She needs to remain the way she is right now, all the way through WrestleMania, because it's going to make that moment that much bigger. Now, I put it out there that I would love to see Becky lose the title at TLC, and I hope that WWE is listening, and I hope WWE goes down that road, because Becky's role in the Royal Rumble is probably the biggest proponent to this entire storyline. Becky and Nia need to be in the Royal Rumble. It might not happen at the end, but in some form or fashion in that Royal Rumble, Becky needs to be the one to eliminate Nia Jax, okay? I put it out there that Charlotte could win the TLC match, and she could be crowned the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, just to kind of play into the fact that she took the title from Becky. There might be some fuck finish. Nia might get involved. Ronda might get involved. They're all under the same roof, in the same building. Something's going to happen. And then I put it out there that if Charlotte is going to be the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, then that means she won't be in the Royal Rumble. She will have other plans at WrestleMania. And I put it out there in the open that if Asuka wins the Elimination Chamber, then we can start building Asuka back up to where Becky and Charlotte are, and we can have Asuka versus Charlotte 2 at WrestleMania, and Asuka could get the title back from the woman who beat her, and she could get revenge for the streak being broken just a year later at the same event in an even better match. Now, I don't know who is listening to me that wouldn't want or like that idea. I think that's a great idea. But again, I have to come back down to reality here and address the realization of the issue here. And that's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon's a stubborn old fuck. And he's not going to let up on his plans. We all know that Becky Lynch was not in their plans. And we all know, I don't want to say we all know. I guess we should say we just assume. We can just kind of feel it in the air. That WWE, Vince McMahon, and everybody else on the creative team are pretty much upset at the fact that one woman single-handedly changed all their concrete plans for Charlotte and Ronda at WrestleMania. Now they have to include Becky Lynch. I don't know how WWE feels about that, but from the eyes of the fans, now we got Charlotte, we got Asuka, and we got Becky. That's a good top of the division, if you ask me. But from the original plans of Charlotte and Ronda, now they got to include Becky. WWE, I don't think they realize how special this is all going to be. They should not look at this as something that's, an issue or a hassle. What's the difference? Your WrestleMania main event just got that much better. I want it to be solely Becky and Ronda. For the simple fact that I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago a few times, that Becky and Ronda is spotlighted just on them. It would be Becky getting her WrestleMania moment, which she has not had one yet. That would be Becky's WrestleMania moment against Ronda, and it would be a conclusion of a match that we never got, that we were supposed to get, that was advertised at the Survivor Series. It would be Becky's WrestleMania moment, and I love the intrigue of a one-on-one match in the main event of WrestleMania for what is very important, or what should be most important, the title. That would be the first time in a very long time that you put a title in the main event, and it's just as important as what's going on in the ring with both competitors. That's what I want out of the WrestleMania main event. Now, if you add Charlotte to the WrestleMania main event, I mentioned that it's going to be more about the women instead of one individual woman. It's going to be cringe when we have to hear WWE pushing the women's agenda down our throats WrestleMania season. The women are headlining WrestleMania. The women are in the main event of WrestleMania instead of Becky in the main event of WrestleMania, or Ronda in the main event of WrestleMania. Now it's got to be the women. I don't like that, man. I don't like that aspect. You're taking the spotlight away from someone who truly deserves it, and you got to include Charlotte because you can't deviate away from your original plans. Now, what is likely going to happen, and when I talked about I live and I kind of get into these grooves where I want something to happen so much that I kind of forget about the realization. The realization of the matter here is that TLC Asuka is going to win the Women's Championship. She's going to win the Women's Championship. The reason why she was put in there was to facilitate Becky and Charlotte into the Royal Rumble. Now, there were rumors going around that Ronda and Charlotte were going to battle at the Royal Rumble. That's not possible. That's not possible. And I don't want WWE to put two women in a match that makes no sense whatsoever. But JD, it does make sense. Ronda wants revenge from the Survivor Series. Well, clown, you may be forgetting one huge important detail. They're on separate brands. How do you expect WWE to put Ronda and Charlotte in a match that makes sense if they're on different brands? It's not possible. It's not possible unless there's a shakeup randomly, a draft, a trade. Now, this is WWE. They could do whatever the fuck they want. Charlotte could show up on Monday Night Raw, or Ronda could show up on SmackDown Live at any given moment just because. If WWE wants it to happen, they're going to fucking make it happen. But we're all going to fucking criticize them about, well, listen, this doesn't make sense. How could you have this match happen when they're both on different brands? So, more than likely, this rumored Royal Rumble match between Ronda and Charlotte is not going to happen. And I would rather it not happen, just for the sake of the brand split. Well, then who does Ronda defend the title against? Well, let's look at Monday Night Raw. Alexa is not coming back anytime soon. She's hurt. Concussion. Sasha and Bayley. My God, my pocket lint is worth more than Bayley and Sasha Banks right now. So that leaves you with Natty and Ruby Riott. What about Alicia Fox? What about Dana Brooke? Don't make me laugh. Nia Jax? Don't make me laugh. We're seeing it at TLC. That's the last time those two women should ever be in the ring together. What about Tamina? No. I would rather watch a sack of potatoes against Ronda Rousey. Fuck out of here. In fact, the sack of potatoes probably moves better than Tamina. So that leaves you Ruby Riott and Natty. Now, Natty was actually added to the TLC card. She was actually added to the TLC card in a match against Ruby Riott in a tables match. Now, we all know Natty has been on the receiving end of just embarrassment and this wolf pack-like mentality from the Riott Squad, if anybody's even fucking paying attention or cares for that matter. Yes, Natty has been on the receiving end of the Riott Squad and their beatings for the last couple of weeks now. Now, it was rumored for SummerSlam that Natty would be turning heel against Ronda and challenging Ronda for the Women's Championship. Clearly, they didn't go with that. They wanted more of a powerful heel in that role. That's why they gave it to Alexa Bliss. We could be seeing Natty versus Ronda at the Royal Rumble in just a one-off match. We could finally be getting what we were going to get at SummerSlam at the Royal Rumble. And it would make sense because Natty would have beaten Ruby Riott at TLC, and that would probably make her the number one contender because Ruby Riott right now has been, in my eyes, the best female talent in ring on Monday Night Raw. So if you want to go about it, Charlotte, not going to happen. WWE should keep the title and the defense with someone on Raw, either Natalya or Ruby Riott. Either one of those matches I would take because either one of those women will probably make Ronda look pretty damn good in the ring. And it might not be as bad of a match as everybody is expecting it to be because of Ronda's still green nature in the ring. But she's coming along very nicely. She's rough around the edges, but in my eyes, I honestly think either Natty or Ruby Riott would be a very, very good match for Ronda Rousey. So I would rather that happen, and then we can start talking about the Royal Rumble. Now, if Charlotte wins the title at TLC, then she can't be in the Royal Rumble. She can't fight Ronda, and who the fuck's going to be her opponent at the Royal Rumble? Asuka, Becky, nobody else makes sense unless they want to do a one-off with Mandy Rose or a one-off with Sonya Deville. None of that is interesting to anybody. Right now, you're going to get major players because when January comes, that's the start of WrestleMania season. They need to start figuring shit out now. This is why I say Asuka wins the TLC match and the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Who she defends against, I don't know. I really don't care at this point. But with Ronda and either Ruby Riott and Natty at the Royal Rumble, that would clear way for Charlotte to be in the Royal Rumble. And I honestly think that being that I was mentioned this today in a conversation with my friend Jesse, I didn't really think about this. You know, I've been waiting for WWE to pull out. I've been waiting for WWE to pull out this 1994 Royal Rumble fuck finish for the longest fucking time. We were all anticipating it for the last couple of years with somebody on the men's side. You remember the dreaded Royal Rumble with Bret Hart and Lex Luger where they both flipped over the top rope and nobody knew whose feet hit the ground first? I could totally see WWE doing this with Becky and Charlotte in the Royal Rumble. Now, in a perfect world, Becky would win the Royal Rumble and eliminate Nia Jax. I don't think that's going to happen. They will have something happen in the middle of the Royal Rumble match where Nia's cleaning house and then Becky comes out And then Becky eliminates Nia Jax. That's what's going to happen. But I've been waiting for WWE to pull out this 1994 Luger Hart ending of a Royal Rumble somewhere. And I honestly think WWE could potentially visit that in 2019 with Becky and Charlotte, because there's no other way that Ronda is going to have opponents. If WWE wants Charlotte and they need to include Becky, how are you going to get both of them in that match with Ronda Rousey? It's through the Royal Rumble. It is through the Royal Rumble. Because the Elimination Chamber doesn't make any sense. That's for a specific brand only. And the Royal Rumble is going to be the gateway to the WrestleMania main event. Becky and Charlotte are going to have a fuck finish at the Royal Rumble, more than likely. And they will both be in the main event of WrestleMania. It's going to be Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda Rousey. Now, I would love if WWE gives me something different. Maybe a unification match. Maybe we get the divisions to get merged. I don't know. I think that's asking too much. I honestly think that's asking too much. But if Charlotte wins the championship at TLC, this is another point I want to make. If Charlotte wins the match at TLC and wins the championship, and Becky is in the Royal Rumble solely, it does make the Royal Rumble a little bit predictable. It makes it a little bit predictable, because if Becky's in there and Charlotte's the champion, then we all kind of know Becky's going to win the Royal Rumble. Now, if Charlotte is added to the Royal Rumble and Asuka wins the title at TLC, Charlotte's in the Royal Rumble with Becky, doesn't that make it a little bit more unpredictable? It makes sense. It honestly makes sense. And I just want to backtrack on what I talked about in part one, because, like I said, I get into these grooves where I mention something and I want it to happen so much, or it makes too much sense, or something that we all would love and you want to hear that, but we have to come back down to reality and address what's really going to happen. So I just wanted to get that out of the way there. More than likely, Asuka's going to win the title at TLC. Who her opponent's going to be at WrestleMania, I don't know. Maybe we see someone get called up from NXT, because right now on SmackDown Live, I see nobody worthy of challenging Asuka. Maybe it's a Shayna Baszler. I don't know. Could be literally anybody. And you know there's going to be call-ups. In between January and April, there's going to be some call-ups. And again, more after April. So we'll see what happens with that. But I just want to address that. I wanted to address that today on the podcast, man. This is episode 251. This is part number 2 of Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. If you missed part 1, that link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of your screen. Go and check it out. We talked about WWE reportedly considering bringing back the King of the Ring tournament, but not for the men. They want to make it into a second exclusive all-women's pay-per-view and rename it Queen of the Ring. I go over why this is a terrible idea, why the women already have a tournament called the Mae Young Classic, and why the King of the Ring should be brought back to be a bridge between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, not only to give you a clear indication of what the main event of SummerSlam is going to be and have their individual wrestlers work towards that goal, but it would make Raw and SmackDown leading up to the King of the Ring that much more valuable and important, and give a reason to watch those shows. Those shows would be built around the King of the Ring, and all will prosper. I talk about all that in part 1. Go and check that out. Link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of your screen. I do want to thank everybody, man. You guys are kicking ass with this campaign, man. You guys are literally blowing it out of the water. We're almost at 50. And as I record this, I just had more come on in, man. So I want to shout out Yetchamian. If I fucked your name up, bro, I apologize. Just call me a goon on social media. We got Jeffrey, Alex, ×2, Levi. We got Baz, Hector, and Beth. Thank you so much for sponsoring or jumping on the campaign, buying a t-shirt through bonfire.com for the holiday 2018 JD Club t-shirt. Man, if you guys missed out on the original design, the Team JD design, and then you missed out again when I made that one into a gold foil t-shirt on teespring.com, now you have an opportunity to get the new one and be a part of a new exclusive club. JD Club, man. Holiday 2018 JD Club shirt comes in 5 different colors. Black, gunmetal, blue, pink, and red. Available now on bonfire.com. We sponsored through Bonfire. They're helping me with this campaign, man, and I would love to blow the 50 out of the water if we can do it by the weekend. The thing is, you guys have only till December 9th to get this, and then for the season, it's done. So if you guys don't jump on it, you're not going to get it at all. So make sure you guys go get your JD Club t-shirts, man. Link will be down in the comment section, pinned at the very top of the comment section of this very video. Harry's, man, I got to shout out Harry's. Harry's.com/script. You guys know the deal. You guys know the deal with Harry's. They are the biggest sponsor of the show. And you guys are eligible for a free trial shave set. If you go to harrys.com/script, that unique URL is only for off the script listeners. Only. So what you guys are going to get is a choice of blue, orange, or evergreen with the handle of your blade. You guys are going to get a handle of your choice, whichever color you want. A blade. You're going to get a generous 2-ounce bottle of their foaming shave gel, which soothes, hydrates, and it feels fucking fantastic, man. And you guys are going to get a protective case as well for your blade. All for free. All you guys have to do is go to harrys.com/script, pay the shipping and handling, and you guys will be on your way to getting the best shave of your life, man. Guaranteed. I've been using this all year. I never put my name, or I never sponsor or give you guys any bullshit. I never stamp my name to anything that I don't use or don't believe in. Harry's is the epitome of that, man. I'm telling you right now. I use it every week, and I haven't looked back. You guys will feel the same way, and Harry's wants you to feel that same way as well. That's how much they believe in their product, man. Harrys.com/script. Go get your free trial today. You guys are also eligible for $5 off their holiday gift set. $25 and $35 versions available now on their website. You guys can get $5 off either one of them. Makes a great gift, or if you just want to treat yourself, man, go and do it. Harrys.com/script. Follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you guys don't have the notifications working on YouTube, Twitter is the best way to get notified of everything that I do, man, because it pushes right to Twitter. Every time I upload a video, it pushes right to Twitter. And Patreon, man, if you guys want to support through the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. I want to thank Eddie P for being the newest $5 patron. So thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to go to Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you guys for all that. Let's hit the news, man. I don't have a lot today. It's been a very, very slow weekend, but we're going to try and manage to get through this. I do want to go over quickly. I did mention Becky Lynch. Let's clear away some of this, man. Becky Lynch confirms she will be at TLC. She will be medically cleared for TLC. The Wrestling Observer newsletter said that Lynch's concussion is not an issue. We mentioned that on part 1 yesterday, but her broken nose is still an issue. The good thing about a broken nose, though, is a recovery time is more clear-cut than a concussion. So Lynch went to Twitter, and she posted a photo from Evolution, and she said, "I'm seeing reports that I might not be cleared for TLC. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Nothing will keep me from fighting on December 16th. I've got heads to slap and a title to keep. The man will come around." So when the man speaks, you shut up and you listen. And by the way, for all the goons still telling me that Becky's losing steam, she sold out in 90 seconds at WWE Royal Rumble VIP access. So I don't think she's going anywhere. Like I did mention, the TLC match is happening. Hopefully it's the main event. More women were added to the TLC card outside of Ronda and Nia. We have the triple threat match with Asuka, Charlotte, and Becky. Now we got Natty and Ruby Riott. That was made official right now for the TLC pay-per-view. A tables match has been added between Natalya and Ruby Riott. Like I mentioned in the opening, you could really look at this as possibly being a number 1 contender match for Ronda Rousey. Because WWE's been having Ronda and Natty still kind of be buddy-buddy. Ruby Riott, she has an opportunity to really turn some heads here on Monday Night Raw, because she's been probably the best in-ring female performer of the entire year on that show. She's been so good at what she does. Maybe she deserves a shot against Ronda. All I'm asking is WWE keeps the brand split intact and the integrity of the brand split intact, because you can't do Charlotte and Ronda at Royal Rumble because it doesn't make any sense, being that they're on separate brands. So build one of those women up to a point where they could challenge Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble, and maybe we get a natty heel turn out of it. I don't know. Ruby Riott and Ronda, I think that's an interesting match if you ask me. I think she deserves it. Not saying she's going to win the title, and more than likely she ain't going to win the title, but it gives her an opportunity to be in the ring with Ronda when everybody else has. Ruby's been in the ring with Ronda, but not in a one-on-one situation. That really matters. So let's do that and give her some of that Ronda rub as well. So that match is added to TLC. Tables match between Natty and Ruby Riott. Apparently there was a report via Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful.com, and his sources told him that Vince McMahon was surprised by the crowd reactions to Asuka. Now, I don't know what there is to be surprised about. I mean, you took someone who was so incredibly popular in NXT, and you fucking killed her off for whatever reason that you had conjured in your head. She don't speak English too well. She don't have the look. She's Japanese, etc., etc. Whatever the case may be, Asuka was ruined on SmackDown Live, and we all know this. She went from here to losing to Carmella and being embarrassed by Ellsworth, or Ellsworthless nowadays, really. And then she never got her comeuppance. She never got her revenge against Carmella. And it was all forgotten. Then Asuka sat in catering. She came out dancing like a fucking clown with Naomi. And now all of a sudden there's this renewed push for Asuka. I'm not going to complain because this is where she deserves to be. But Vince McMahon was surprised by the crowd reactions, not only on Tuesday night during the contract signing, but he was surprised by the crowd reactions when Becky went over to Asuka on the night she had to choose a replacement to go against Ronda at the Survivor Series. The crowd reaction to Asuka, he was surprised about. He was surprised that Asuka got a bigger reaction than Charlotte. What is the surprise there, Mr. McMahon? Charlotte has been shoved down everybody's fucking throat, and Charlotte has been miscast for many, many months now. And then when you bury someone like Asuka, who we all love to watch, and then you put her in a prominent role, people are going to fucking react accordingly. When you take someone like Asuka, who people want to see, away, and she starts to have just an inkling of importance back on her character, people are going to react. What is the surprise? Charlotte has been stale for months. Months and months. And the only reason why Charlotte is there is because of who she is and who her father is. You don't think people know that? You don't think people know that Charlotte is a corporate product? A political fucking, hand-picked, chosen one by the higher-ups in this company? You don't think people understand that? When someone like Asuka gets pushed down, there's going to be a reaction like that. Not only when Becky was choosing her replacement for Survivor Series, but at the contract signing. Asuka was over. Asuka was very much over. Why do you think Becky is so fucking popular? Because you held her down for 2 fucking years. And now look at where she is. And people are loving it. This is where the people wanted her the entire time. The longer you keep someone down, that's the type of reaction that they're going to get. So Sean Ross Sapp was told that Asuka's renewed push and position on SmackDown Live is in large part to the reaction the live crowd gave her the night Becky Lynch announced that she was injured and out of the Survivor Series match. Now, he says he joked on his live podcast after the SmackDown show that if they went by the Taboo Tuesday method of voting, Asuka would have been the replacement. Meaning, if they left it up to the fans, Asuka would have been voted in over everybody else. I honestly believe that. Asuka would have been voted in as a replacement if it was left up to that type of situation, as they gained a huge ovation despite not really being involved in any major storylines through the last several months, and off television for another part of it. A source told him that Vince McMahon was caught off guard Now, he doesn't know if Vince was actually present at the show, but he was caught off guard by the fact that Charlotte didn't get a bigger reaction than Asuka, and saw an opportunity to integrate the Royal Rumble winner into the Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair feud in the aftermath of the Survivor Series. So that is what happened there. So I guess we should all be thankful that they finally have realized that they need to start pushing Asuka in a prominent way. I don't know why she was given the cold shoulder all these months, and now all it took was that type of reaction. Who's to say that this doesn't happen again? You know how fickle, like Daniel Bryan says, you know how fickle these fans are. You could go to one city, and they could give you the biggest fucking reaction of anybody on the entire show, just because of the city that you're in. Then you could go to some, hey, Billy Joe Jean, did you milk the fucking cows? You know? Did you put the milk out? You go to one of these bumblefuck fucking towns, and they could sit on their fucking hands, and something great could be happening, and they're quiet as a fucking church. They don't react to anything, right? So it all depends on the fucking city that you're in. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't remember what was it. California? Was it Dallas? We were in Austin, Texas. I guess Austin, Texas loves Asuka. I don't fucking know. But Texas, or Texas in general, is a wrestling state. Houston as well. It's a wrestling city. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking, by the way I would do things, Asuka and what she did in NXT, there's no way you can't push this woman. She has the makeup of everything that you want. She's charismatic. She can go. Got a great look. Fans love her. The fact that she don't speak English, I don't want to hear that as an excuse anymore. She's getting better. As noted on SmackDown Live. But I guess we shouldn't be too concerned, because Asuka may have been put in this situation, like I mentioned, to take the title off of Becky Lynch and facilitate whatever Becky and Charlotte are going to do in the Royal Rumble. Then we can worry after the fact. Let's get through TLC first. Then we'll worry who Asuka's going to defend the title against. Maybe this is the start of Mandy Rose's push. Mandy Rose has been featured on television a lot more lately, and that is done strategically for a reason. I could honestly see WWE pushing Mandy Rose in a prominent position, hell, even at WrestleMania. I mean, look at the fucking woman. She's gorgeous. Why wouldn't WWE want to push her? And you know that they're going to strap the rocket pack to her. Mandy Rose is very impressive, man. She can handle herself on the microphone. I love everything about her. The entrance, the music. She's beautiful. And she's not half bad in the ring. I honestly looked at Mandy Rose as like, oh my God, who the fuck is this Eva Marie clone? Get her off my television. Man, she shut me up real fast. Not only is she a better wrestler than Eva Marie, I don't even want to associate the term wrestling with Eva Marie. She's better looking than Eva Marie. So I could see Asuka and Mandy Rose being a program going into WrestleMania season if WWE wants to do that. Or WWE could bring up Shayna Baszler to SmackDown Live, and I wouldn't mind an Asuka versus Shayna Baszler type of situation. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe get Shayna Baszler integrated into the horsewomen stuff. Because Charlotte and Becky are on SmackDown Live, and Becky and Charlotte starting that program with Shayna, and then Ronda's on Raw. We start seeing things come together. I don't know, man. It could happen. It could really happen. But we'll see what happens. I don't want to think too far ahead, because I don't know what the fuck this company is thinking about right now. I'm just throwing ideas out there for you for a possible Asuka opponent if she does win the title at TLC. Now, we all mentioned how we didn't like Dean Ambrose using Roman Reigns and the Roman Reigns leukemia situation integrated into the storyline. We didn't like how Ambrose brought it up on Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago. Now, apparently, WWE Creative changed plans for Dean Ambrose due to fan outrage over the Roman Reigns remarks of a couple of weeks ago. Roman Reigns' announcement is something that is still very, very fresh. And this is something that completely turned WWE Creative upside down. We all know that. So, with Dean Ambrose turning heel, which was brilliant on that night, I loved how they did it. It's the follow-up that I can't fucking stand. That one night in Ambrose, where he turned heel on Rollins, was brilliant. Because nobody expected it. Everybody was like, oh, it's all somber moment. We got to be there for our buddy. And then he fucking stabs both of them in the back. Roman not being there, but he literally stabbed Seth Rollins in the back. Dirty deed. They win the titles, tag team titles, and then he dirty deeds him right in the ring. It was beautiful. So Dean Ambrose turned on Seth to conclude that very broadcast, while Michael Cole screamed into the headset about Ambrose picking that specific night to turn on Rollins. Now, Ambrose threw a major shot at Roman Reigns a couple of weeks ago, where he said Roman Reigns will have to answer to his maker for all the sins he has committed as part of the Shield. This apparent reference to death in Reigns' situation brought fans to rage on WWE. Now, I don't know where this is coming from. Oh, it's Brad Shepard. I thought it was Meltzer. This is Brad Shepard from the Oh You Didn't Know podcast. He says, and I quote, "There was such an outrage online that they changed the direction of Dean's character, and now it sucks. It's terrible now." End quote. Since then, WWE fans might have been turned off to the company entirely. At this rate, WWE might reach a new record low on a weekly basis. Good. Good. I hope so. Because that's the only thing that's going to serve as a wake-up call for this fucking miserable creative that we see on Monday and Tuesday nights. More so on Monday. Now, Dean Ambrose's creative direction for his character was switched up, and the next week, he came out getting shots from some unknown doctor to prepare himself for the disgusting city of Houston instead, as he started drawing even cheaper heat. So, WWE right now has taken what could have been a great heel character for Ambrose and turned him into a needle-injecting Bane wannabe on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. The Dark Knight Rises is 5 years old. You now want to mimic Bane? And don't tell me they didn't get it from Bane. Of course they got it from fucking Bane. He came out wearing a fucking gas mask and a jacket that was very eerily similar to the Bane jacket where he blew up the football stadium in the middle of the movie. It's the first thing I thought of, and the first thing a lot of people thought of. And if WWE didn't get that inspiration from Bane, I would be fucking shocked. Shocked. That prior weekend, that weekend before we seen this Raw on Monday, TNT played The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger all fucking weekend. I guarantee you, I mentioned this on Raw Review, I guarantee you somebody was watching TNT and they were thinking, well, how can we get this to Dean Ambrose's character? What do we got to do to make him more evil? Can't do the Joker. Can't do Heath Ledger. That's been done every which way. How about we do Bane? Give me a fucking break. That is awful. That is just an awful fucking way to do things. And now, look at where you brought the Rollins-Ambrose feud. It has absolutely no heat whatsoever. This is ice fucking cold. Ice cold. First of all, this feud didn't even need the Intercontinental Championship. Rollins has done nothing with the Intercontinental Championship. That title should have been taken from him in any which way. Give it to Elias, give it to Balor, give it to McIntyre, whatever. I would have rather him dropped it to Ziggler. Even. He could have given it to Ziggler in that match, that open challenge match that he did. Right? Get the title off of Rollins. He's doing nothing with it. Rollins is going to be a guy that you want to propel into the main event because you have nobody there at the moment. Nobody. So that's what you're going to need to do. This feud never needed the championship. This feud was deeper than the championship. So that's where they fucked up already. Number two, instead of making it about why he turned on Rollins, we got this dance around fucking response from Dean Ambrose. He never gave me the legit reason, the deep-rooted issue of why he turned on Rollins. We never got it. When something like that happens, the most important thing is why. What is the reason for your actions? And WWE didn't deliver that. Instead, they used Roman Reigns as a crutch. I don't know if they just wanted to do it because they thought it was cool. They thought that people were forgetting about Roman Reigns, so they need to keep Roman Reigns' name alive on television. I don't know. But if the guy legitimately has leukemia, why are you bringing him into the storyline when he has zero to do with what's happening on television right now? None. Night one when you turned Ambrose was fine. After that, it should have never been about Roman Reigns. No. Never. The reason why they used Roman Reigns is to get cheap heat. That is how lazy WWE creative is. Instead of building around the Ambrose character, they need to dip into the Roman fucking pool and use this guy's condition to get Ambrose over as a heel. Do you know how lame that is? I don't give a shit if they name drop Roman Reigns and his leukemia, but using that, what I'm upset about is using that because it shows you how lazy and uncreative people are in this company to write for a guy like Ambrose. Now they can't use it because there's fan outrage. Rightfully so. But people are upset that they're using Roman's condition. Oh, poor Roman. I'm upset because they can't write without using this issue. So they thought that it was just going to go over everybody's head. It was going to fly under the radar. And Ambrose was going to get over. They're going to hate Ambrose. Now people can't stand Ambrose for the wrong reasons. This match at TLC means nothing to me. Nothing. Ambrose has come out for 3 weeks now embarrassing himself. If the shots weren't bad, this Monday was the cherry on top of the cake. Bane? Fucking Bane. Who cares? If it's for the title, get the title on Ambrose. Get the title off of Rollins. End the feud. Done. I don't even know where... I'm a creative guy. I don't even know. They fucked this up so badly, I don't even know where you go from here. And why would I care about the match at TLC, man? Why? Look at the Monday Night Raws that we've seen. I've seen more Ambrose and Rollins in the ring, brawling, fighting, to make up for a match at TLC. I don't need to see this now. You've already ruined the attraction of Ambrose and Rollins by the shitty storytelling. Now you want to have them brawl every fucking night on Monday night? I don't care. There's no anticipation anymore. You ruined the anticipation of these guys in the ring together. Fucking ridiculous, man. This is why people shit on Monday Night Raw. And this is why Monday Night Raw has received the award. The don't like it, don't watch it award. Lowest TV ratings 4 times this year. Congratulations. You have the worst fucking wrestling program in the world. Vince McMahon didn't learn that. Well, I rewrote Monday Night Raw and it was terrible. I got critically fucking shit on by everybody on social media. All over the world. Newspapers were shitting on Monday Night Raw. Well, let's change it. What does he do? Give me the pen. Let me rewrite Monday Night Raw in the last minutes of Monday night. Again. Why did he rewrite Monday Night Raw? Because of George W. Bush's passing. This company is fucking ridiculous, man. Absolutely. Well, who gives a shit? Who could honestly care about that? About when it comes to a wrestling program? Oh, man, I just don't know. I just don't know. I also don't know about Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I don't know what the fuck WWE is doing with these guys on the roster, if this is where their career was going. You got 2 guys in Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows who are very talented at what they do, who are a great tag team, and they haven't been featured in anything. But they aren't leaving WWE anytime soon. What about AEW? What about All Elite Wrestling? Yeah, I'm assuming these 2 guys would love to get out of their WWE contracts and explore other options if that becomes a reality. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. But there's been a lot of talk about the changing wrestling landscape for 2019. Ring of Honor has begun signing new talent to their roster as they prepare for the exodus of the Elite. WWE is also preparing for big changes as they continue to reach out to top independent talent. The word going around is that they're looking to sign as many names as possible so they can prevent them from joining All Elite Wrestling. But WWE is not scared. Bullshit. Two names that you shouldn't expect to go anywhere anytime soon are Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. During a recent PW Insider Elite audio show, Mike Johnson noted that the rumors going around stated that they are under contract, are Gallows and Anderson, until the fall of 2019. There's been a lot of talk about Gallows and Anderson, Johnson said. There has been some speculation on them, but I'm told that their deals aren't up until September 2019. End quote. Of course, this won't do much to end the rumors about their future because they could always join All Elite Wrestling or any other promotion in late 2019. AEW will probably not launch until late 2019 or early 2020 at the earliest. Johnson briefly touched on Dolph Ziggler's contract. Nothing is 100% confirmed, but it does look like he is locked in under a long-term deal. We also made mention of this on yesterday's show, where rumors were going around that, I believe Meltzer mentioned this, that Dolph Ziggler was under some handshake type deal. He was on a per date basis. I didn't believe that story for a second. WWE is not going to allow Dolph Ziggler to be hanging out there, willing to do whatever the fuck he wants. They're not going to do that for a guy like Dolph Ziggler. Because I mentioned yesterday, Dolph Ziggler's the type of talent that if he goes to an AEW, that's the type of guy you're going to be building around. That's the type of guy that's going to be at the top of your fucking main event scene. With the work rate that he got. Or he could go to Ring of Honor or New Japan. They're not going to let a guy as talented as Dolph Ziggler go anywhere. Or have him on their payroll with a handshake type deal. Ziggler is locked in. I didn't believe that story for a second. I'm glad I touched on this today. So WWE's recent contract offers and renewals have been for 5 years, with the exception of Rey Mysterio, who was signed for 2 years with an opt-out clause that allows him to leave after 18 months if he so chooses. Johnson said the following about Ziggler's contract situation. Dolph Ziggler, it would appear he signed the new deal based on how he's being used, but we never heard that 100% that he put pen to paper. That was what he said about Dolph Ziggler's contract situation before, but he is locked in. No question, he's locked in. Listen, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, man, WWE should really, especially with Fox getting SmackDown Live, there's no reason why these guys should not be used in a prominent way. You need to start using the tag teams and get tag team wrestling back to a prominent state on main roster television. Really. Raw has no tag team division. I'm tired of talking about this. And the rumor going around with the WWE bringing in women's tag team titles, they can't even book their women's division correctly now. Now we're going to add tag team titles to the mix? And how many sets of tag team titles are you really going to introduce? Is it going to be one? Or if you're going to fucking destroy this thing before it even gets started, you're going to introduce sets of titles for Raw and SmackDown? No, we don't need that. So I'm hoping, I'm hanging on to a fucking prayer right now, that if the tag team titles come to the women's division, that it's one set of titles and there's floating championships. And I hope the same is done for the men. Because if you're doing it for the women, then there's no reason why the men should be any different. I hope. Because that's the only way you're going to fix this thing. The only way you're going to fix the men's tag team division. SmackDown can't thrive with 3 teams every fucking week. Bar, New Day, Usos. Come on now. After a while, it's going to get boring. If not already. But Raw, don't even get me started. Outside the Revival, they're not even a fucking issue anymore. They're dead. Dead. AOPP? How long is it going to take Vince McMahon to restart the PP jokes? Or if they're in the right city, that people are going to fucking cause chaos and hijack the match, chanting AOPP. If the women are going to get revolving titles, then the men should have the same thing. It's going to make the shows better. I don't know why this idea hasn't been instituted yet. Fucking ridiculous. Like, I wouldn't want to see a Revival on SmackDown Live fighting the Usos, or the Bar, or the New Day on Monday Night Raw fighting AOPP. moving on here, man. Chris Jericho, the best in the world at what he does, Chris Jericho. He was posing with Impact Wrestling executives. What does this mean? Well, former WWE superstar Chris Jericho, yes, former WWE superstar, I don't see Jericho back with the WWE at all, is a hot commodity in the wrestling business. Jericho proved that he can stay relevant by reinventing himself and is the current IWGP Intercontinental Champion after being Tetsuya Naito earlier this year at Dominion. Jericho has far refused to face Naito in a rematch at Wrestle Kingdom 13, while New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced a match between the two for the IC title at the Tokyo Dome. Jericho had previously talked about being open to working with any promotion and has categorically stated that he will not rule out working for any particular organization, including WWE and Impact Wrestling. In fact, Jericho is good friends with Impact Wrestling's co-executive vice president, Don Callis, and reportedly batted for him to get the role in the company. Jericho previously talked about suggesting Callis and D'Amore to Leonard Asper, whose company Cygnus Corp owns a significant ownership stake in Anthem Sports and Entertainment, the parent company of Impact Wrestling. Now, I'm going to quote this from the report here, and I quote here, "My thought process was, and this is not a slight on anyone that has run that company or has been part of that company, working with that company, that has been around for so long, through so many incarnations and through all its ups and downs, and now I found with the last incarnation with TNA Global Force is that it was a dead company. There was nothing exciting about it or sparking it, so to me, the only way to get it rolling would be to completely change directions and go with somebody new and different." This is what Chris Jericho said. He continues to say, "When Billy Corgan was up for it, I would have much rather had him run it over Dixie Carter because it was somebody new. And I just really felt that it was my place to call the guys and say, listen, if you guys really want to lose money, go for it. Or use it as a tax write-off, and then you have the right place. But if you really want to do something and roll with it and be at a place where people are excited about it, then you need to go in this direction." And these guys, Callis and Amore, are the guys to do it with. So that was basically the gist of the conversation. And it worked because here you guys are. But this is really the only way to the company and for it to grow. And this is by doing something completely different and new. Now, adding more fuel to the fire, Jericho recently uploaded a photo to his Instagram account where he was seen posing with wrestling executives of Impact, Callis, Ed Nordholm, and Scott D'Amore. You know, I'm not going to look too much into it. If Jericho shows up on Impact, I mean, how big of a deal is it going to be? You know, if he's going to be there for a nice 6-month stint, then I would consider it a big deal. But if he's going to make a one-off and just show up on the show with no long-term story plan to it, then what the fuck? It's not going to make a difference. Impact doesn't even have a TV deal right now. They have no TV deal. They're on a barter agreement with Pop TV. They're shopping around for networks right now, and nobody is willing to pick them up. They wanted to go to the network that exclusively has MLW. And Court Bauer of MLW said, Impact is not welcome here because we have exclusive rights to our own TV station. So, I don't know what's going to happen with Impact Wrestling. They can't even get a fucking TV deal, and without a TV deal, they are pretty much nothing. Nothing. 100,000 people or less watching that show on a weekly basis. They can't gain traction. They can't gain traction. And some of it has to do with the network that they're on. Some of it has to do with the fucking time slot that they're in. 10 p.m.? That's a fucking miserable hour for a wrestling show on a Thursday night? Come on, man. Jericho working everywhere else but WWE is a great thing to see. He don't need to go back to WWE. WWE is snatching everybody up for the sake that they don't want this other talent to be anywhere else. They want that talent underneath their umbrella. Jericho's not stupid. Jericho's going to do what he wants. At this point in his career, he could do whatever he wants. The WWE doesn't need Chris Jericho. They don't. They can't even book their own talent correctly. They want Jericho? I'd rather see Jericho do his own thing, reinvent himself, wrestle the kind of style he wants, because we all know that whatever Jericho we got now, we ain't going to see in the WWE. So it's a waste of everybody's fucking time. Someone who we're not seeing in the WWE right now because of his Lucha Underground contract is Shane Strickland. Shane Strickland having issues coming to the WWE because of his Lucha Underground contract. PW Insider is reporting that Strickland might not be allowed to start with WWE in January as everyone expected he would. Now, there could be a delay due to contractual issues with Lucha Underground, although that was not specified. Strickland was unmasked on Lucha Underground as Killshot in the last season. And while this issue might be coming to a close, there is apparently still something in his Lucha Underground contract that is holding up the deal. In the meantime, Shane Swerve Strickland will continue to work for MLW, and he is still booked for their upcoming Miami shows. He's also currently being advertised for MLW's Philadelphia show in February. It looks like Shane is going to be staying plenty busy in the meantime, but he will have to apparently wait a little bit longer before arriving in NXT. I will definitely keep up to date on that because Shane Strickland is to me, he's one of those game changer like guys, man. He is fucking phenomenal. He is very, very good at what he does. He has been in House of Glory, and I've enjoyed calling his matches. He's actually going to be at House of Glory on December 15th at their 8-year anniversary show, HOGWrestling.net. If you guys want to come on out, December 15th, he's going to be there. Can't wait to see what he's got up his sleeve for House of Glory again. But that's a top-tier talent right there, man, that WWE is gonna pick up, and he is going to be fucking phenomenal in NXT, man. I can't wait to see what he does. But you know, those Lucha Underground contracts, man, I don't know what's going on with that because I was hearing rumors that the last season that we had, season 4, may be the last season of Lucha Underground, period. It may be the last season of Lucha Underground that we ever see. So, I don't know what the deal is with that, but I will keep you guys posted on that because that's a pretty big fucking signing for NXT. That is a major, major deal for NXT. Can't wait to see what he does when he eventually comes on in to NXT. Reason why WWE stopped caring about contract tampering. Now, I mentioned last weekend on Off the Script that WWE was talking to talent even though they still had existing deals with other companies. Illegal practices, my friend, illegal practices. Now, WWE has some big future plans, and they need as many good workers as they can get, even if they're currently signed somewhere else. Now, it was reported that WWE has started engaging in some pretty flagrant contract tampering, and it's reported that the reason they're doing so much of this now is they don't see it as a risk of retaliation. They don't see any risk of retaliation. Now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that Kushida of New Japan Pro Wrestling, he's currently the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, is on WWE's radar. For whatever reason, I don't fucking know. Some might see a problem with that. However, the company doesn't seem to care at this point if he signed to New Japan Pro Wrestling until the end of January. It was said with the exception of MLW and Ring of Honor, WWE doesn't see much of a risk of anyone taking them to court over contract tampering. This shady business practice, of course, is when you try to discuss details of a contract with someone who is currently signed to another company. WWE has historically stayed away from this practice until recently, when it seems like they've started it up again in a big way to make up for lost time. It was noted that WWE isn't very concerned about New Japan Pro Wrestling coming after them either, because it's such a difficult process to take legal action against a company based in another country. Japan's process for doing so makes it even more complicated. That isn't to say it's an impossibility, but WWE doesn't seem to be too concerned at this point as they carry on with their plans for expansion. Triple H's global takeover is in full effect, people. You're seeing it with the UK and the restrictions on their contract, and it's just going to continue in all other markets of the globe. And apparently, Kushida, I don't know where the fuck he would fit in NXT or WWE for that matter, but wanting Kushida is more of a larger scale global thing for WWE than anything. But it's pretty fucked up that they're talking to people in New Japan Pro Wrestling and they are under the impression, well, New Japan's not going to take us to court because of the difficulties between countries. You know, that's a little fucking ridiculous. And it all goes back on me saying that WWE wants to take whoever they can for the sake of them not going anywhere else. And part of that is them being very, very afraid of what is to come with the winds of change that are happening in the wrestling industry. And I don't know much about Kushida. I don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know. But this is more, to me, if I was to make a logical guess, this is more of a global expansion WWE World Takeover type of deal. And they may want him for something that they're doing globally instead of here in the United States. There's nothing to be done here in the United States except fix Monday night. Fix Monday night. You see what they're doing with NXT TakeOver UK, right? Or the UK division there with NXT. That's going to be bleeding into other countries. And they may want Kushida for another NXT Global Takeover. I don't know. We may see NXT TakeOver Japan. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But this is WWE becoming the New York Yankees of pro wrestling. George Steinbrenner New York Yankees. They want everybody just for the sake of fucking taking everybody. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. And they're also frustrating. I can imagine they're frustrating a lot of the independent fucking markets. Or a lot of the independent companies. Because they're taking all this talent. What the fuck are they going to do with it? What are they going to do with it, realistically? They can't even book their own talent properly. There's a lot of frustration, I'm sure, in the indies. You know? WWE scooping everybody up like George Steinbrenner used to fucking hand out contracts like they were fucking candy. You know? Fucking WWE wants zero opposition. Zero. Meltzer noted. Meltzer even said that there's a very interesting time. It's a very interesting time now in pro wrestling. Between now and March of 2019. As to who WWE is going to be able to take and sign and snag. And who could possibly help them build their company to take away from another promotion. Although, we previously reported that WWE doesn't seem too worried. Well, the newsletter, Meltzer, reported that WWE doesn't seem to be too worried about the possibility of All Elite Wrestling bullshit. They certainly seem to be signing as many people from the indies as they can, no matter if they're in-ring talent or not. Everybody. Producers, cameramen, crew. Unreal. It's unreal. So we'll see what happens with that, man. I'll keep you posted on all that. But Kushida, man, that's going well deep into the fucking desperation for WWE. Finally, guys, I'm going to end with this one. WWE looking to sign 2 competitors from this year's Mae Young Classic. The Wrestling Observer newsletter mentioned that WWE is currently targeting Karen Q and Rachel Ellering, who I don't believe she's not signed yet, to be honest with you. As the two both have reportedly landed on the company's radar, just like everybody else. Ellering is the daughter of Paul Ellering and performs as Rachel Evers. She appeared on NXT before the Mae Young Classic. Rachel is also dating Cassius Ohno, which would make yet another WWE couple if they do end up signing her. Karen Q also competed in the Mae Young Classic and has extensive experience in Rise, Ring of Honor, and other many indie promotions. She has held titles in ECWA and VPW, and the Chinese-born pro wrestler has been working consistently for the past few years. There are a lot of big names that come through the Mae Young Classic that WWE doesn't sign, like Tessa Blanchard, and they wanted to sign Jazzy Gabbert from year 1 of the Mae Young Classic, but she got hurt. But it appears Ellering and Karen Q might be 2 women that WWE wants to keep around, and for good reason. I'm going to throw another name out there that I see from time to time on social media, on Twitter, and I did see her in NXT once, man. I would love to see more of, and let me know if you guys know who she is, Amber Nova. I would love to see more of Amber Nova in NXT, man. I think she's got a great look. She looked fantastic in the ring. I don't remember who she went up against, but, you know, I would love to see more women like that get signed. Karen Q was impressive in the Mae Young Classic. Rachel Ellering, you know, she knows what she's doing, but I feel like she's very bland for whatever reason. It might be just me. I don't know. But she did have a much better showing. I will say that she did have a much better showing in year 2 of the Mae Young Classic compared to year 1. She was a lot better in year 2. But WWE probably just trying to fill up NXT because no doubt about it, there's going to be some call-ups from NXT. Whether it's Nikki Cross, Shayna Baszler, you know, that's going to make way for, you know, Io and Kairi and Dakota Kai. And then obviously got to get the Horsewomen involved. So there's a lot of moving parts right now in NXT, especially the women's division. And with the tag team titles coming, WWE wants to, have a more priority or prioritize more of the women. So they're going to want to bring more women into NXT and maybe move some women up because the main roster is going to need them if WWE expands to having tag team championships. That's just my honest opinion there. But Karen Q and Rachel Ellering possibly being signed to WWE. They are on the radar. So maybe in 2019 we'll see 2 new women on NXT down at the Performance Center. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much for everything. I don't know if there will be a part 3 on Sunday because I've legitimately run through all the news. I'll keep an eye on if there's going to be news throughout the rest of the weekend. But if there's not a part 3, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. If there is news, I will let you guys know on Twitter. Please make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, man. At JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications so you guys know if a part 3 is going up. If not, I will see you guys all on Monday with more content to begin a new week as we head towards TLC, man. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP10 for 10% off. Get your t-shirts before the holiday season, man. You guys can still get your shirts before Christmas season. Make sure you guys get them. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Harrys.com/script for your free trial shave set and $5 off the holiday gift set. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. 1 month free of Audible service, and that includes 1 free audiobook of your choice, man. 200,000 choices to choose from, and if you guys don't like the service, you guys can cancel within that 30-day free trial and still get to keep your audiobook for free. Compatible with iPhone and Android. Off the Script. Sponsored by Audible. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. And the JD Club design, man. Get your JD Club t-shirts. You guys have till December 9th, and then they are going bye-bye. They are gone forever, man. Holiday 2018 JD Club shirt now available on bonfire.com through our startup campaign. Link will be in the comment section pinned at the very top. Make sure you guys go and get yours today before December 9th, before they are gone. Thank you guys so very much for everything. I am out of here. Again, please make sure you guys follow me on Twitter to keep an eye on if there will be a part 3. If not, I will see you guys on Monday for Monday Night Raw review. Thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next week.